Hey, welcome to Dad Son Game. I'm Luke, and this is my dad.
I'm Joel. And so for some of you guys, this might be the first video of ours you've seen because we've been off for a long time.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
doing a little stuff here and there. But basically, anyway, we'll more on that later. But hey, here's that intro.
Yeah.
So hey, today, a couple things real quick. First off, we decided that we're going to do seasons because Luke and I got a little burnt out doing 26, 25 reviews in about 35 weeks. So I don't know how some of the people who do it as well as they do, as many as they do it. They do great work. But Luke and I decided that with us having other lives and just kind of doing this on the side, we're going to do seasons. So we're going to call this season 3. And we'll do about 10 weeks on, 10 weeks off, 10 weeks on, 10 weeks off. So this is episode 1 of season 3. And we're actually going to spend quite a bit of time this season talking about an upcoming Kickstarter. Actually, I have the game in my pocket here. I actually have the next few games in my pocket here. So
Pretty smart design, honestly.
yeah. So these are what we call the TKO games from Chris Handy. And he's the guy who made another game that we really enjoy called Cinque Terre. And I'm saying that wrong, but he made that game, and we love that game. That's one of our most favorite, underrated games out there. So it's really just a great game that didn't get a whole lot of press and buzz, but man, is it a good game. So you should check that game out, 1. But 2, these new games are going to be coming on Kickstarter here in the next week or so, and that's just super cool that we have 5 of these little games that I carried around in my pocket without even knowing they were there. And the first one we're going to look at, these games all have little 3-letter names. The first one we're going to look at, I'm just going to do it from here. It's called TKO. And this game, man, these games all, first off, I'm going to say these all would be great games for us basically to like have in my wife's purse, Luke's mom's purse, or they'd be great games just to carry around in your pocket and just have a game with you that you could play like while you're waiting for something or while you're in a restaurant or something. But these games all have little different themes. This one's kind of almost like rock, paper, scissors. It's a game where you have different boxers. So I'm going to put up a picture right now. Okay, so this is TKO. And I'm just going to do a quick run through on this instead of just showing you pictures, because I think it deserves that. Basically, you have 2 boxers here, and the boxers are like kind of divided up. Their bodies are divided up. They make a picture of a guy, and then you divide their bodies up and put these little trackers in there. And so this boxer starts off with 2 points in head block and 2 points in head block and 2 points in body blow. So he's a body specialist. And this guy has 2 points to start with an uppercut, and he starts out with 2 in body blow. So he's like an offensive specialist. So basically what's going to happen is we start off with our stats right where they line up. So there's no 0 and 1 here. So I put it on the lowest number to start with. These little trackers on the lowest number that the boxer has a stat for. So each boxer is different. You get several boxers in the box. So, I mean, you've got another boxer here that has slightly different stats than the other boxers. And so anyway, you have a bunch of boxers. And then the other components you need to look at, too, are there's little round titles. So after you win a round, you would get, here's the round 1. If I won round 1, I'd take round 1. And then if I got the second round, I would be TKO champ. But the first one to win two rounds is the champ, basically. And a round is us trying to count up these counters up to number 5. So the way how this works is Luke and I are going to do some examples of this gameplay here later in the video, just with each other. But like you pinch, basically, 2 players pinch, and it's like rock, paper, scissors almost. So I pinch uppercut, and then this one pinches head block. So we hide these and we show them at the same time. And so the guy who did uppercut is actually going to not lose anything, but he won't get a point. And the guy who blocked with head block would get 1 point in head block. So if that was the case, if the blue guy did head block, you would get another point there. So now let's do another one here real quick. Okay. And so they're getting ready to go again. And the purple guy thinks, I'm going to get uppercutted, so he does a head block. And this guy is like, I think I can get a body blow in. And he can. He got a body blow in, so he gets another point. So we keep doing this until we get the resolved 5 points in. But there's one catch here, too. This little power marker here, so like I'm going to put it here so you can better see. Whoever won the last point gets the power marker their direction. So instead of what the power marker lets me do is instead of putting it in body blow, which is where I earn the point, I can put it anywhere. So I can move my head block up another one.
So now all of a sudden I'm at 4 on head block. So if I can get one more point, I win the game. So this guy being clever is going to try and figure out which way to get a point based on what he's going to do. So he's probably going to be pretty defensive, and he's going to do either a head or a body block, I'm guessing, because he doesn't want to lose points if he's getting punched, probably. So let's say he's going to do a body block, and purple and blue guy just knows his opponent. He understands that he's going to do a body block this time, and he just is. So he picks uppercut. So they go and show him again one last time. Body block does nothing against uppercut. He gets another point. He has power with him, so he can put that wherever he wants, and he just won the round because he got his 5 points in head block. So that's basically how the game works. It's rock, paper, scissors with cool little characters and kind of a fun theme. I like it. It's a fun little game. So at any rate, I wanted to make sure you guys had a little better understanding of the game, more than just a picture, what we did in our little review part there. So here's a little better explanation of it. Luke and I each would get one of these little guys here, and again, I'll put a picture up of that. These little, you just kind of pinch what you want. So let's see if I can find you one too, Luke. So if Luke and I were fighting each other, here, take that one. He would have a boxer with certain traits. I'd have a boxer with certain traits. And we'd be trying to max our points out. And so some boxers start with like a couple bonus points on one thing or another. But we would kind of under the table or behind each other's backs, we would get ready what we want to do. Ready to fight me? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to go with, let's do this. Ready, set, go.
Head block.
Uppercut. So he did a head block, I did an uppercut. Head block, stop uppercut. So he get a point in his head block column.
This is actually a pretty simple game, so kind of goes along with the being small thing.
Yeah, and it's not hard to learn. So let's do one more.
Okay.
Ready? Go. Oh, we both uppercutted. So I'm not sure what happens when we both uppercut. I think do we both land them?
I think so.
Yeah. So it says in the directions what happens when we both uppercut. I'm going to look in the directions in the meantime, and if there's nothing in this area here that's a correction, then that's right. You both get a point. If there's a correction here, then do what the correction says. So anyway, this game is one that we just got pretty shortly ago, but we played it a little bit, and so enough to have kind of an opinion of it. What do you think of it?
I find it a very fun and simple game just to pull out at any moment. And like what I said earlier about it being really simple, really does help it being small. So like if you're waiting for like a party or a wedding to start or something, like just pull it out, be like, you guys want to play this or something like that.
Yeah, and this is only a 2-player game, but it's perfect. I mean, at a wedding would be perfect. I mean, you're sitting at a reception waiting for the bridal party to show up. You're playing this game. You just need a flat surface to play any of these little games. So anyway, these are coming to Kickstarter. I think August 4th is when they launched the Kickstarter. This game's called TKO by Chris Handy. It's a fun little game. I really enjoy it. It's anybody who can play rock, paper, scissors can play this, and it adds a little strategy to it. I'm not going to say it's my favorite game I've ever played, but it's definitely a clever little fun game that's the size of a pack of gum. And then as we look at these games, we're going to do a couple of games in each review moving forward here. So TKO is our first one. There's another one called Gem. There's one called Hue. There's another one called Taj. And finally, there's one called Fly. And they all have 3-letter names. He has another one called Lie, but I don't have a copy of that to review for you. But those other 4 we're going to take a look at. A couple of games each review. So, at any rate, rock, paper, scissors with a little bit of statistical stuff going on with it. Not a whole lot to it, but pretty just fun. I mean, it's just kind of a rock'em sock'em fun little game. So, what do you give it out of 10?
I have to give it, honestly, I like these simple games. I'm giving it an 8, and I definitely think you should support this on Kickstarter too.
Really?
It's worth it.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm not going to quite give it an 8, but I'd say it's a 7. I mean, and as far as a game that you can carry around in your pocket, it's a really cool little game. There are other games in the series I like more than it, for sure, but it's a fun game. The theme is really great on it. A 7 is what I'm going to give it, which means, a better than average game. So the fact that it's going to be cheap, you can carry it in your pocket, whip it out any time before you've got some time at a whatever kind of event, and just play it right there, a quick round, that's great. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. You should check it out on Kickstarter. Support it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, hey, guys, we'll be back in a week. And if we're not back in a week, bomb our Facebook page or load our Google Plus page up with comments and pester us because
We're trying to get back in the swing of things here. And so, you know what? I thought we'd be really rusty. I thought, hey, we haven't done this for like 2 months and we'll be rusty and not very good. I don't think I was very good, but I think Luke did a great job. So good job.
Oh yeah, and with that, I'm kind of maturing and becoming a little more comfortable with the piano.
Yeah? Well, good. You're going to be a superstar soon. So anyway.